I'll show you everything on the dash. Most of the controls are basically the MG switches and controls. What I'll start off with, I'll put the parking lamps on. That will turn on the dash lights on the gauges and on the gear indicators. On the left side over here, turn the headlights on. On the left side you have your high beam, low beam, 12 volts gauge. It shows the output of the DC-DC converter or the battery. The amp gauge is not connected. I found out after installing it in the car that it was not compatible with the controller that I'm using. And I found I don't really need it, or would probably not need it. The gauge up here on the iPad, the kilowatt gauge, I feel like I watch this more than any other, this and the speed, but it shows you how much power you're using on throttle, and when you're off throttle it'll go back to 0, and when it goes to regen it'll go back up. So I found this gauge here, or dial here, is more than probably any other gauge. And it also shows the voltage in the power pack. Right now it's at 373 volts. And this is the motor RPM. The RPM of this motor is maxed out, I believe, is 17,000 RPM. So if you're cruising down the freeway or whatever, it'll be, you know, half of that. It'll be down around 8,000 RPM at, say, 65 miles an hour. What else? This is a fan. There's a fan kicked on. This is a fan on the small radiator in the front for the cooling for the inverter and the motor for the Tesla motor in the back of the car. This is your headlight switch, so it's off. Park lamps, headlamps. This is the wiper switch. The wipers do work. I just don't want to turn them on right now because it's dry. This is the window washer. There's no fluid in it right now. That's why there's nothing spraying. This is the heater fan blower switch, which turns on. This is the heater element. The heater element will not come on unless the fan switch is on. So if you turn the fan switch off, it will turn off the heater core. You don't want that overheating without, getting hot without the lower fan running. This is a standard MG heater defroster box. Right now it's an off. Interior blows the air down below and the footwells. And screen, it'll come out up on the defrosters, and those are all functioning. Glove box over here. It's all new liner inside, and the traditional squeaky door. With the lights on, the map light, the factory MG light will come on. I also added a courtesy light on the console. It's just operated with this little switch on the top, and it will come on with the 12 volts without the parking lamps on. This one has to have at least the parking lamps or headlights on to work. There's a battery, there's a cover plate for a radio. Normally this plate would be mounted up here behind where I have the iPad mounted. The iPad just comes off with these two screws. You see, one on this side, one on that side. So there's no holes or anything drilled in this dash. So you could put that plate back up here and mount the iPad down here. I do have the other mount if you want to do that. I found it's much easier to read and see when it's up here than down there, because I do look at this gauge, or these gauges, quite a bit when I'm driving, and it's just easier up here. What else? There's 12 volt outlets, USB and some other outlets, and a 12 volt lighter large outlet here. for accessories. The rest of the car inside is pretty much stock. Stock sun visors, high-low adjuster on the rearview mirror. Can't think of anything else. Oh, the headlights. The headlights don't have to be on for this, so I'll turn this off. There's a flasher switch. If you pull back on the turn signal, you can see the headlight high beam light go on. That's for flashing other cars if you need to flash someone. And also turn signals. There's a left and the right. There is no hazard flasher on this car. I think that was before they had those on cars. This knob here is just a rheostat or for adjusting the brightness of the dash lights. And again, all the lights in this car, all the dash lights, everything, and there are LEDs everywhere. There is no regular bulb on this car. And I think that's about it.